All right, everyone. I'd like to welcome a special guest today. This guest was a 2024 All-Star. He is the fastest Reds pitcher to ever reach 500 career strikeouts, 2017 second overall pick, and one of two high school baseball athletes to ever be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, man. He's one of the best pitchers in the game, Mr. Hunter Greene. Welcome, bro. I appreciate you.
First African American baseball high school player to make Sports Illustrated.
First, there you go. There you go, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming out.
I think anytime we get a chance to watch Hunter Greene pitch, just sit back and enjoy. Hunter's just, as I said, he's just kind of continuing to develop and mature right before our eyes.
Struck him out! A dirty dozen for Greene. He ties his season high. He goes off to an ovation.
I want to get right into it, man. Expectations, right? So you're a high school player, obviously cover Sports Illustrated, right? You're compared to Noah Syndergaard when he's in his prime, and you're compared to Alex Rodriguez as a position player. As a high school player, man, those are big expectations, right? Like not everyone can handle that. So how were you able to handle those expectations? And for any other player or any other kid that's kind of going through the same thing or even on a lesser level, a lesser scale, what would be your advice to them?
Yeah, bro, it's a great question. The first thing that comes to mind for me is my support group, my inner circle, right? It's going to take a long time, and I'm speaking to a younger audience right now, but it's going to take time for you guys to figure out who your support group is, right? You might have friends over here, friends over there, where you notice like, there's a lot of people that John or Kyle or whoever is friends with. But what's the quality of their friends? What's the quality of the people that they're deciding to surround themselves with? For me, it's that still is a process, right? I think for anybody through their life from, being born all the way till 70, 80, 90, 100 years old, you're constantly like kind of fine tuning the people that are around you and figuring out, do you have my best interests? What is your motive? Hopefully there's no motive. Hopefully all the intentions are pure and they just want to see you do well. But I think I was able to figure out that inner circle very quickly. Now, since then, have I added to that inner circle? Yes, but
Yeah,
I would say maybe two people,
yeah.
maybe three,
Like
but really
LeBron
like
James. Like
two.
LeBron James in his crew.
Yeah, since I was 17 years old, I'm 26 now. I've probably only added about two people to really my inner circle.
Yeah.
That says a lot, right? So, to answer your question, man, I think being able to have parents that have always been super locked in from when I was born till now and will be till the day that they end up passing. Also, my closest friends, being able to have people that keep you grounded, not bring you down, but
Mhm.
keep you grounded,
Yeah.
right? And I'd like to think I've never been the person that is cocky, arrogant, that my mind goes to the best version of myself, because I know that there are low versions, in certain ways, ebbs and flows of just life and how you have to react. So I think I've always thought of myself, maybe not thought of myself, but I've always operated out of like this very consistent line across the board. So yeah, man, I think being able to have people that praise you and champion you, but also keep you focused, hungry, driven, and keep the big thing, the main thing, right? That's why I always keep the main thing, the main thing. Stay focused. There's going to be a million different distractions, uh, but being able to find that almost like that flow state
Yeah.
of like, okay, like I understand this is where I want to be, this is where I am. How do I, achieve this without getting too distracted here, too distracted there? So I think that really comes down to the people around you. You can't do it by yourself. I don't care who you are. Even LeBron James has said that. I'm sure
Yeah.
the most affluent people and um, people of great stature in any field or position or job or profession has been able to say that or would agree with that they weren't able to do it by themselves. Nobody is truly self-made.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, man, I know that's a long answer to the question, but
No,
I
it
think that
is.
that's that is what allowed me to continue to push and not get too complacent with being tapped on Sports Illustrated, being tapped with that certain, I guess, notoriety. So
Yeah.
just being able to have those people around me to champion me when those moments were had, but also keep me locked in and focused. There's so much more to be had in the future.
No, that's perfect. I mean, I had the chance to play with you, man, and we both know like you get some guys that, first overall picks, first rounders that come in with the I'm the best ever, can't talk to me, I'm greater than God kind of mentality. But, playing with you, it was never like that. You're always a great person, always a great teammate, and good to the people around you, right? So
Appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, that was always something that was one of the first things I've noticed and that, I continue to know about you. Um, I guess sometimes, the question could be, are you nervous? Like, was it nerve-wracking coming into pro ball? I have a lot of kids ask me questions like, man, big situations, I get nervous, I lack the confidence, I don't know how to handle it. Perfect example, you were just in the wild card series. You know, you faced three Hall of Famers back to back to back. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, right? Most people, they're on the mound or whatever, younger kids, they'll be nervous. They're facing three Hall of Famers and three MVPs, right? How are you able to control, whether it's nerves or not, but control your emotions or go to a place where like you could calm yourself down, bring yourself back into the moment and just realize the task at hand?
Yeah, man. I think naturally going through pro ball, going through college is probably when you start to see it most. The attendance ticks up, right, with people that are in the stands.
Yeah.
The environment kind of picks up another level. Obviously, the big leagues is of that highest type of environment. Everyone's
Dodger
screaming.
Stadium.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium. There's 50. I think there was 56,000 people for that game.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it's nuts, man. But over the years, have I been able to figure out tunnel vision, how to stay focused, how to not hear all the chatter and all that stuff? Yes. But obviously that takes time, right? I would say understanding, in that situation, whether it's you're a 10-year-old that's facing, you're facing a guy that's throwing, I forget the miles per hour and what's like,
And let's say like 55.
yeah, like, okay, you're facing a guy that's throwing 65.
Yeah.
Right? Like way harder than everybody else, right? It could be intimidating, it could be scary. You're probably thinking about first, like, I don't want to get hit by this pitch. But then you're thinking about like, man, I want to get a hit off this dude. Can I really get a hit off this dude?
Yeah.
Right. I think I can apply that to the big leagues. And by saying you are there for a reason, right? You're there. You've been called up. You've been now at the highest level in the big leagues and you're facing this guy. Could you argue that it's not fair, right? In a certain way, you're facing a guy that has had 10 years, 12 years, 13 years in the big leagues, and you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? There's a disadvantage there, but you're there for a reason, right? And they're not always going to have a great game, right?
It's true. It's baseball.
Yeah, if there's three guys that are cranking, that are hitting me really, really hard, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the other 6 players in the lineup are going to do the same, right? Or vice versa. So I think it's understanding like, hey, I'm here for a reason. I can do just as much damage as these guys, right? And it's really understanding that, yeah, man. I think that you're there for a reason, right? I can get into another layer of, the mental game, right? I don't know. With the demographic that we're talking to, I don't want to lose, the audience, but there's mental cues that I worked on, right? And being able to keep myself present in the moment, right? I remember there were times in the minor leagues, even my first year, second year, a little bit in the big leagues, of my mind would randomly go somewhere. I'd be thinking about what my mom's doing right now. Why? I'm on the field trying to get the shoot out in front of all these people, clear across the country in Ohio when my mom's in California. Like, why is my mind even going there? But that's normal. That's natural, right? We're gonna
Yeah.
have things that flow through our mind. But what are some of the things to keep me present in the moment, right? I like to think about your senses.
Hmm.
Right? Remember Frank Fister? Remember
I
Frank?
love that. I love Frank.
Like I first learned this from Frank. For those that are listening, Frank was mental skills, but he was so much more than mental skills with his position with the team. He first talked to me about what do you smell, what do you hear, what do you see, right? And that was kind of the first introduction into trying to stay present. Did I have coaches and my dad like, hey man, stay focused, stay focused? Yes, but those are just words unless it resonates with you and you're able to find the reason why
Yeah.
or the reason how to stay focused
Hmm.
or the way to stay focused,
Yeah.
right? So that was one of my first introductions into kind of mental skills, keeping me present was like my senses. Okay, what do I smell right now? I smell the grass. I smell popcorn. I smell peanuts. Like I'm smelling baseball things. What do I hear? I'm hearing the guy digging in the box. I'm hearing maybe my shortstop and second baseman behind me are communicating, right?
Hmm.
What am I feeling right now?
Yeah.
Well, I feel that I'm in my cleats right now. Let me maybe go to the mound for some dirt, right? We have a position player or not position player. We have a pitcher on our team, Brent Suter, that has multiple cues, right? And one of those things is he goes down to the dirt, right? And there's two reasons. It's for grip, right,
Yeah.
to kind of help him, but also it's to feel the mound, feel the dirt. Hey, where am I at right now? Be where your feet are. That might be something that people hear.
Yeah.
Be where your feet are, right? So that helps with trying to stay present, locked in, with trying to face or being in that environment. Going back to your question of like, man, all this is going on around me. How do I stay true at the task at hand?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, man, that would be kind of my two
That's
answers
great.
on
I mean, I don't think it matters the age. I think whatever, because I work with, 10-year-olds up to 18-year-olds, right? And I think they could all learn from it. I remember I
it.
played with this one guy in high school, and anytime he made an error, he would tie his shoelaces. And I think it was just to remind himself that like, hey, like I'm okay, I'm good, like I'm here, I'm on the field, right?
Yeah.
So no matter,
Reset.
yeah, reset, like no matter what it is, whether you're feeling nervous or you're not sure, like you said, you're in that space with that team, no matter how old, for a reason. You have to be good enough to be there. So you're there. Now it's just the preparation you put in equals the confidence that you're gonna put out, right? And if you
Right.
prepare properly, then it's gonna show on the field. And those moments where you feel overwhelmed or too nervous, they're gonna, be few and far between. And speaking of the minor leagues, I do have a story. I do have a story about Hunter Greene in the minor leagues. So when you came to the minor leagues, it was my third season, your first season, and we're in Billings, Montana. And obviously we hear the talk, we get this guy. There was 102 high school player, and we're like, uh, I don't know. Does he throw 102? Like no one really knows because no one's seen it. So you get off the plane in Billings. We're playing in Great Falls that day. I don't know if you remember this. You're not pitching. You're throwing a live AB. And of course, who do they pick to face you? Me and Jake Turnbull.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
and Jake Turnbull. So, again, we don't know if it's 102. We've heard, but we're not sure. I'm the first batter. I dig in, I'm getting ready. And usually when guys are throwing bullpens or, live ABs, their first pitch is like, get me over a field pitch. So I'm thinking, 94, 95. We got everyone
I'm
in.
also thinking, hey, this is my first time facing pro hitters. I'm thinking I can't throw me and get me over, or this
Well,
dude's gonna hit me out the ballpark.
I
So
was
that's what's going on
expecting
in my mind.
I was like, I'm expecting to get me over it. Regardless, I wasn't gonna swing because like I wanted to see what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Man, I'm expecting like 94, 95. That first pitch, boom, 99. I was like, what's going on? Second pitch, boom, 99. And I didn't believe it, so I made the guy in the back. I think it was Jesse at the time, had the radar gun and he showed me
Yeah.
99. So now I'm like, all right, this is real. This is legit. Dig my back foot in a little bit more. Next pitch, 100, but I'm sitting dead red fastball, 100. I swing and I swear, I think the ball almost hit my knuckles. That's how jammed I got, bro. You broke my bat twice, twice,
Yeah,
twice that
maybe.
live, baby. I will forgive you though, because you did give me another bat when we were dating the following year. You gave me a Chandler. So all is forgiven,
That's
but
too funny.
all is forgiven. But it just goes to show, like, I've seen you and I've got the chance to play with you in the minor leagues. Now I get to watch you in the big leagues. What would you say the biggest difference is between the pitcher you were in the minors and the pitcher you are now today in the big leagues?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of things.
Hmm.
And I could probably sit and talk to you for hours about just this simple question.
Yeah.
I think just to answer it, not to try and make it short, but to answer it is I constantly and to this day still operate the same way. Constantly trying to get better, man. I'm just trying to figure out how to continue to level up in every facet of my game.
Yeah.
Are there times where you're stagnant? Yes, because that's just how it is sometimes, right? But in those times of being stagnant, are you still able to stay motivated enough to still see the vision of you getting better in those times of being stagnant? And I think what's able to wrap all of that together is me continuing to find ways to just simply get better, right? Whether it was on the field, off season training. I'll touch on my workout environment now. So I've built a gym in my house.
Hmm.
My physical therapist is 2 minutes down the street.
Nice.
Place that I can catch right down the street. Like to do a lot of swimming for training.
Hmm.
I have a club right up the street in our neighborhood, right up the street. Everything is either at my house. My Pilates instructor comes to the house. Everything is either at my house or down the street. So I've created this environment, this system where it's very efficient and I'm able to fully recover when I need to,
Hmm.
right? Because I'm not sitting in traffic, going from here to there to this place to that place, right? Um, but I learned that by taking mental notes training with established big leaguers, right? And the first person that I picked that up from was Marcus Stroman.
Hmm.
Stroman was in Canada. He's not from there, but
Yeah.
played for. Um, I noticed that he had also my chef. I didn't mention my chef. I have a chef that's at my house. So I've created like this whole system through picking here and there from guys that were established in the big leagues and that I look to, right?
Hmm.
Man, these guys are doing this. Okay, when I get a little bit more money in the bank and I can actually do it
Yeah.
the way that these guys have done it, that's the type of system that I want in place for my training moving forward.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just continuing to find ways to get better. But even from a mental standpoint, like I've been able to work on my mental game. That doesn't mean I've never been someone, maybe when I was like in pony baseball, I didn't play Little League, I played pony baseball. My
What's
dad told me, I say again,
what's pony baseball?
but I couldn't even break down the whole definition of pony baseball, but it's still a league. It's a league
Okay.
of baseball. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the definition is or the whole infrastructure of pony baseball. But I remember my dad said I would hit a double. Like I would hit and I would get a triple, a double, not really a home run, but I would get a hit.
Yeah.
And I'd get to the base and I would start crying for some reason. Right. So it was like the most confusing thing. I don't know what that was. Obviously I grew out of that a long time ago, figured all that out way before I got to high school. But there were things that I had to continue to work on the mental side, right? Like I just touched on in I think it was our previous question about staying present, right? Being able to feel the dirt. Is there something that I can see with my eyes that doesn't change in every stadium,
Hmm.
right? Am I able to pick up the S, on this banner in right field that's never going to change because it's not digital. It's just a banner.
Yeah.
I know that focal point is never going to change unless maybe the sponsorship changes, or whatever with the team. But I know that that's not going to change. So that's something consistently that I can go to give myself a reset, or this is deep, but we're having a conversation.
Hmm.
And I'll say it. I was just having a conversation with my mom, right? We were talking about the brain, the left side, the right side, all the different compartments of your brain, right? Specifically, the brain stem, is a label in your brain. That's an area of survival, right? You're operating out of survival mode, which isn't a way that you want to operate, right?
Hmm.
That's complete panic. What am I going to do? How am I going to, right? You're panicking instead of being able to channel your frontal cortex, right? That is, how do I overcome this situation? How do I figure this out quick? So athletes, CEOs, really anybody, any walk of life, any profession, you have to tap into that.
Hmm.
But more so with athletes, with high level CEOs, with firefighters, police officers, right? If they see someone get shot,
Hmm.
automatically you go into brainstem. Oh my gosh, like I just saw somebody get shot.
Yeah.
But now, how do I figure out how to de escalate the situation or care to this person? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, kind of that critical thinking and like being able to overcome the grand slam gets hit. I think you have a question a little bit later about this, or
Hmm.
the home run, the grand slam that gets hit automatically, right? And as it should be, automatically, this is how we are as humans.
Yeah.
It's the oh shoot moment,
Yeah.
right? Man, I just gave up a grand slam. Like now you're thinking, oh, we're going to lose the game now. This was a critical part in the game.
Hmm.
But you got to get back on the horse, right?
100%.
And be able to get the next guy out or the next two guys out or shoot the next, whatever, three guys out, right? So, and that's quickly being able to get out of the brainstem, get into the frontal cortex. And I don't want to get too, I
Yeah.
know we're talking mostly to 18-year-old window, but that's something that the kids will grow to understand later. But it's great that I'm mentioning it now because it's something to
Okay.
be at least aware of, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so it's not getting into my own mind of like, oh, am I operating out of my frontal cortex right now, right? It's just, hey, how am I able to get out of that survival mode instinct as soon as possible to be able to be efficient and create change and what just happened?
Yeah.
Right. So like, man, there's so many things. That's why I said like with this question, I consider for hours and really talk about it.
I could tell,
Uh,
but it's good, man. It's good. Like,
yeah, but it's what really sums all of that up is like I've constantly, and I'm still in this position and I will be till I'm done playing. How do I find ways to get better?
mhm,
Right. And that's gonna be my biggest message to who we're speaking to on this question is you guys aren't close to your potential, right? You're not close. So it's continuing to find those layers, right? And don't get fooled for once if you think, hey, I just had, my year in high school, I just hit 350, 400, I'm state player of the year, all of this stuff.
yeah.
That's awesome. However, there's so much more work to do,
Yeah.
especially if you want to get to the big leagues. Everyone that you're going to end up seeing in draft camp that you get to the team with, they're all going to be SEC or not SEC. Yeah, for college guys, SEC Player of the Years,
Yeah.
CIF Player of the Years, Gatorade Player of the Years,
All of
played
it.
for the USA team, played for Team Canada, played for whoever. You're going to find yourself in this environment of shoot. Everybody is the best in their state, the best in their country.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whether it's the Latin players, the Asian players coming over, everyone is the best, and that's why they were selected. So how do you separate yourself? And the answer is you separate yourself by trying to figure out how to continue to get better and not be
Yeah.
complacent.
No, I totally agree. And I think that's what said, like you said, that separates you from the rest, right? If you want to be the best, you got to figure out ways to be the best. And once you get to that level, like talent is pretty much the same. Obviously, you have your outliers that are, really, really, really good. But if you can mentally get into a place where you're like, I just got to get whatever 1% better every day and figure out ways to get a little bit better every day, by the time, it's the end of your career, you're going to be like, damn, like I really did that. Like
Mhm.
I gave it my all and here I am. And, that's longevity, that's contracts, that's whatever you want, just by mentally telling yourself, hey, man, I'm not satisfied with where I'm at. Let me continue to push forward every year, day by day, every game, every pitch, every at bat, a little bit better day by day.
And for
Um,
everybody listening, that starts now.
starts now. Starts now.
Starts
People don't,
and
people,
trust and you want it to start now.
yeah,
What's a system and a process that you're familiar with, and you're not late
Yeah.
to when you get drafted that, oh, now I have to figure out how to become 1% better.
Yeah.
JD and I are putting you on game right now.
Bro, start it now. Listen, I tell
Right?
the kids this. I tell the kids this, but I'm just me, right? I'm just me. They see you on TV, so
They don't want to listen.
they don't listen. But if it comes from you, they might listen a little bit more. Um, but I know you touched on the mental side, right? And how big that is for you, right? How are you able to bounce back from the rough outings,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure, man. One, as we know, and everyone that's listening should understand or know that baseball is a failing sport,
Hmm.
right? You're going to deal with a lot of failure. It's about how you bounce back,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we're going to get into. So, my process after games, good or bad, complete games or 2 innings pitched, I'll watch my game, pitch by pitch, all the way through, right? So I'm able to understand and dissect, okay, this is what I did fantastically, this is what I did great,
Yeah.
this is what I did poorly, and this can't happen again, right? I think, man, being able to bounce back is staying in that state of mind of there's always another day,
Mhm.
right? As a position player, the always another day mindset is tomorrow, which is
Yeah.
great. You have an opportunity to come back to the field and try and have a 4-for-4 day, a 3-for-3 day, a 2-for-4, a 3-for-4 day. As a starting pitcher, you got to wait 4 or 5 days, right?
Yeah.
But operating out of that mindset isn't necessarily healthy,
Mhm.
right? I might have to wait 4 or 5 days to pitch again, but I don't have to wait 4 or 5 days to figure out what I need to do better for the next start,
Yeah.
right? For the next game. And that starts with the night that I pitch, being
Mhm.
able to break down my film. So the next day when I show up in catch play, whatever it is, I'm able to work on what I feel like I was missing right in that game, or I'm able to have the conversation with my catcher or with my pitching coach what I was missing. I don't have to wait 4 or 5 days. I'm starting that process now,
Yeah.
right? So being able to bounce back is not staying in the mindset as a pitcher,
Mhm.
right? I gotta wait 4 or 5 days in order to redeem myself, right?
Yeah.
Or prove myself in a way. It's no, I can start this process now. And nothing's guaranteed. Like you said, there's a stretch for a reason.
Yeah.
Not like you have 0 for 4 or you have 2 innings that you only pitched. And that means the next day or the next game that I pitch is going to be perfect or great.
Mhm.
Nothing's guaranteed, but at least I'm being proactive in my process to be able to overcome it.
Yeah.
So once again, I would go back on support group.
Mhm.
You know, your inner circle, the people that you have in place around you to be able to uplift you, but also to keep you locked in, keep you focused. You know, okay, you had a bad game. Let's dissect as to why you had a bad game,
Yeah.
right? Okay, cool. We found the reasons as to why you had a bad game. Now let's work on it in between that time,
Mhm.
right? And that's what's great about the demographic or the kids that we're speaking to. They're not playing every single day.
Yeah.
So
They get to learn early.
yeah, they have the luxury of, hey, there might be three or four more days in between my next game,
Mhm.
you know? So I'm able to work with my own hitting coach or my dad or my mom or whoever to be able to close that gap with struggling before the next game.
Yeah.
Right? So, and even the guys in the big leagues that are playing every single day, yeah, they still have their coaches to be able to go to,
Mhm.
you know, to get some help pregame, postgame. Uh, but there is a lot more time for kids to be able to figure that out because it's not pro baseball.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's it's every day you play, there's an opportunity, to be great, or, it doesn't work out. But that's the great thing about baseball is we play so many games that you always have the opportunity, right?
Right.
You have one bad outing, who cares? You get another one. You go for 4 one day, doesn't matter. You have another chance. And every time you go up to the plate, you have an opportunity to get a hit. If you go 0 for 4, who cares? But every single time you go up to the plate, you have an opportunity. And even Eric Davis, when I was with them and he was talking to me, he said, "You're never in a slump, you're just always one swing away." right? And I think just remembering those things over and over and over again really helped me kind of when I was going through it. Just from like remind myself like, hey, like whether I go 0 for 4, 4 for 4, tomorrow's a new day, and I always have another opportunity. I always have one more chance. I always have one more at bat. Same thing for pitching, right? You could always throw the ball again. You have another start, another pitch, so on and so forth. All right, so what I want to know, is a big one. It's one of my favorite questions. What was your welcome to the MLB moment? Everyone has one. What was yours?
Yeah, I don't have anything crazy for you, man. I wish I did. I think for me, I have two times. One was honestly my debut. Nothing
Yeah.
feels like 45,000 people, 50,000 people in the stands.
Yeah.
Scoreless opening inning. Welcome to the big leagues, Hunter Greene. Swing and a miss. Foul tip held on by Stevenson. The first strikeout for Hunter Greene as mom and dad look on.
I was cool as a cucumber.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I had a dude that told me before I made my debut, he was like, "Don't look up." Like, as I don't look up, like you're gonna shrink because you're gonna see all these people and you're like, "Ah." That's the first thing I did when I ran out to the mound. I looked up and I did a 360 and I looked everywhere,
Yeah.
right? Because for me, like I nothing on him, but like I don't succumb to my environment,
Hmm.
right? Like in that way, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
if anything, I embrace it even more. And I only get one debut, so I wanted to soak everything up.
100%.
Um, so I did the complete opposite. I looked up right away, had a great debut, which is awesome. I know some guys can't say that, but
Mhm.
was blessed to have a good first one. So that would be my first, and then my second one would be honestly like my first complete game.
Yeah.
Which was this year, which is extremely hard to do in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Last chance for the Cubs. So much at stake for Cincinnati. Called strike three. An absolute gem when they needed it most from their ace. The Reds still going in the playoff chase.
And it seems like, would it be your first strikeout? You think your first win, you think no, because those things are to be expected, right? And people could argue that complete games are to be expected, but that's such a harder goal, right? At the
Yeah.
highest level. So to be able to notch my first complete game, man, really, really resonated with me because that's a goal that I want to be able to do time and time and time again.
Hmm.
But being able to do that, I think for anybody that throws their first complete game, it's a very, very big moment.
Yeah.
It's a moment filled with a lot of pride, um, and it's a moment of like reassurance that I can do this. I am able to finish a game.
Hmm.
Right? So yeah, man, I'd probably say those are those are my two.
Those are big ones. One, not
I
everyone.
could have said like my first moment of like getting the first homer hit off of me, and it's like, welcome to the show.
Do you know
Never.
who you gave up your first home run to?
Well, there was a home run in my debut. It wasn't until the sixth inning. Uh, it was Olson. It was Matt Olson, bomb center
Yeah.
field.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
like,
center field.
yeah,
I still got his number though, which is great. But fantastic player and hitter, and
yeah.
obviously means a lot to the city of Atlanta. But yeah, man, yeah, that was definitely like this dude just turned around 101. That is a welcome to the show moment. Not that we didn't get home runs hit off of me in the minor leagues, but
Yeah.
that was like a very like easy, like not saying that it's easy to 100. I know it's not, but it looked easy for him.
Like he just went boom. Like, see,
Yeah, yeah. It was like
yes. I'm
in the
so
deep
impressed.
part of the field.
I don't know. I don't to this day. I don't know how people throw 100. I don't know how people hit 100. That's why
Yeah,
I'm here, and that's why you guys are there.
it's hard to do, man, on both ends. It's
It
extremely
is.
difficult. Yeah.
But not everyone can say I debuted in the major league in the MLB. Um, not everyone can say, I have a complete game in the MLB, right? And I think a lot of kids aspire to get there, whether it's high school, college, travel ball, when we play baseball, most kids' end goal is to play Major League Baseball, right? So for you, if you were to give any advice to any, travel ball kid, high school kid, college player to get to the MLB, to get to where you are, to get through professional baseball, because we both know how hard it is in the minor leagues, what would your advice be to them?
Okay, is everybody ready? Everybody's
Yeah.
listening? What is your why? Is your why strong enough to get through what this game of baseball is about to put you through? Right? You're going to be away from your family. There's going to be tremendous times of doubt, second guessing yourself, whether you're good or not. There's going to be multiple moments of failure.
Mhm.
There's going to be people telling you that you can't do it. I don't know if this is really for you. You might want to try this. You might want to try that. Is your why strong enough to bypass all of that? Right? And that's going to take time. I don't expect for you 10-year-olds, your 12-year-olds, your 18-year-olds. Even, I mean, there's 30, 35-year-olds
Mhm.
that are playing that I would like to think by that age you have an understanding, but that's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
But what is your why? That's going to take time. But I encourage you to start thinking about that now, right? My why is inspiring the next generation of African American players because there's lack of representation there. And I know that the position that I'm in, I'm able to create a lot of change and impact. I've seen it with my own two eyes.
Mhm.
That is purely my why. Do I have a little bit of, I've worked since I was 5 years old to be able to,
Yeah.
have the goals and to be able to accomplish them the way I want to? Yes. Is there a big side of me being able to provide for my future family? Yes. Is there a side of being able to make my parents proud? Yes, even though I know that that has been accomplished. But most of my why is I am in a very crucial position to impact a very low represented demographic of people and players. And if I don't capitalize on that, to me, it will be a failure.
Mhm.
That is my why. I'm 10 toes down in my why. There's nothing that wavers me from my why. So it's very clear moving forward as to what my why is. And it burns deeply inside of me,
Yeah.
but it's clear as day. That allows me to continue to show up every single day, right? Amongst other things, but that's my main reason. I
Mhm.
would encourage all of you to figure out that why, because if it's not strong enough, you will not get to the place in which you want to be. You might get drafted, but at a certain point, because it's every single day,
Mhm.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're blessed to get some off days. It's
Every
still a
day.
blessing. There's so many people in this world that would want to do, what we're able to do.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's unforgiving. The magnifying glass is on you times 10. You don't have certain freedoms that you think you'd have, even though there's a million other freedoms that you do have that other people don't. There's so many things as to why your why has to be strong in order for you to continue to keep going and keep pressing. And if it's not strong enough, at some point, it'll fall apart. And that's fine, right? Not sitting up here telling you guys you got to be big leaguers and professional baseball players. There's so
Yeah.
many other avenues that you guys could go into to be great in your lives and have impact. But even then, we're not just talking about baseball. The people that are most successful, I guarantee you, they have a very strong reason as to what their why is, why they show up every single day to do what they do. I guarantee you guys.
Yeah.
So that would be my biggest, um, my advice on this question moving forward, and for high school, for college, even professional players. Like, and professional players can be a little funny because we're of the same age. But
Mhm.
even for the guys that I speak to that were just drafted, that are in low A, that are in double A, that are in triple A, guys that even get called up to the big leagues, is your why strong enough?
Yeah. Out of all the times I've asked that question, I've never gotten that answer before.
Told you, dog.
Not once. I've gotten the answer, work hard,
Sure.
understand the player you are, um, things like that, things along that lane. But
Mhm.
I've never gotten the answer of like, what is your why? Why are you doing this? And I think that is actually so important, and that's number one.
Right. Because think
Why?
about it.
Yeah.
Think about all the kids that are out there that's parents are pushing them
Hmm.
to be this player,
Yeah.
right? But if they don't want it, that's only gonna last, man, for so long. You know what it takes to get drafted, to play in pro ball, to
Yeah.
do it. You know what it takes to get to the big leagues.
It's not easy, and
Dude,
especially
your why's got to be strong because it will burn out at some point. It's like, Dad, Mom, I don't want to do this anymore,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
At a certain point, and especially as the demand continues to get higher and higher, it's only gonna challenge you more in that space
Hmm.
of why am I showing up every single day to this? Why? You answer that at a certain point. Dude, I mean, I asked myself that multiple times, even though the position I was in.
Yeah.
There were times where I was like, man, dude, I'm tired. Man, I would love to be at the beach right now. Man, I see friends of mine that are at the beach right now. I wish I could do that. The reality is, if I continue to do what I was doing, I can do that for 6 months straight if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all perspective. It's all but anyways, that's what I encourage everybody that's listening to figure out. And it's going to take time. I'm not telling you now that you have to figure out what your why is. But I encourage you to start figuring out. Some people it's gonna come way quicker than other people, and that's fine. But just understand if you want to really do or really want to be in the big leagues, if you really want to do what you want to do, that why's got to be strong.
That's huge. Like, shit. I wish I had that. I wish I had someone tell me what's your why. But nah, man, I really, really, really do appreciate it. You spreading your knowledge, your time, and just talking to me, talking to the kids, talking to the parents and the older generation that's kind of looking for direction, right? And someone like you that is there and that has gone through the ringer of, high school to minor leagues to now the big leagues, like there's no better person to speak on it. So I just really want to say thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And I know
Yeah, man.
everyone else is gonna appreciate it too, man.
And listen to JD. He does know what he's talking about.
Hey, hey, that is 30 right there. That is 30, man.
Damn.